Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. Mahinder here from Endeavor Study Center, and I'm back again with my next video, as we have been doing this series of videos where we are going to discuss all the question types in PTE one after another. So I have already done one video on speaking module, separate videos for describe, image, retell lecture and read aloud and repeat sentence. Today I'm here to discuss with you PTE writing module. So in PTE writing module we are going to look at the two different question types, the important question types in terms of scoring for you, all of you, especially for the people who are going for 65 and specifically who are going for 79 plus score. If you do not have the right strategy in your writing module, you will lose points for your writing module, especially for the people who are going for 79 plus, because you have very small margin for error. So let's get started. So first thing is first, so in writing module in PTE we have two question types. First one is summarize written text and second one is write essay. So before that I'll give you a brief introduction about when the writing module will come in PTE. So when you book your exam, you go to the exam center, you do speaking, that would be your first module, and when you do last question type in speaking module, which is answer short questions, when you click next, you will enter into the writing module straight away and you'll start with summarize written text. Now let's first have a look at summarize written text. Now if you guys have attempted PT before, or even if you haven't attempted it before, you might have heard from some of your students that summarize written text is a question type which is tricky. The way it is asked is very tricky, especially if you're doing it for the first time. Let's look at one by one what are the challenges in summarize written text and how we can overcome those challenges. So first of all, let's have a look at the name of the question. So the name of the question is summarize written text. So that means you have to summarize a written text which is given to you for reading in a single sentence. So that's the requirement of the task. So they give you a text of up to 300 words, which is like an essay, I would say, and then you're supposed to write a single sentence summary of the given text within 10 minutes. Okay, and your word limit is 5 to 75 words. So these are the requirements of a summarized written text. So the requirement of single sentence is very specific, because in summarized written text, if you even by accident put a dot in the middle of your response, so that means if you put a full stop in the middle of the sentence and you make it into two sentences, that means you're going to get straight away 0. So in summarized written text you have 4 scoring criteria. First one is the content, where you have 2 marks, then you have form, where you have 1 mark in form, then you have vocabulary 2 marks, and then you have grammar 2 marks, right? So one question contains 7 points in total, right? You get 2 to 3 of them in the exam. So the number of questions between summarized written text and write essay can change. Sometimes you get most times you'll get just 1 essay and 2 or 3 summarized written text, but don't be surprised if you just get 1 summarized written text and even 2 essays, right? So they can change that number, but the types of the questions will never change. 10 minutes, you have to write a single sentence summary between 5 to 75 words. Now let's look at how much contribution will come from here. So I have written about the contribution here. First of all, let's look at collective contribution. So good thing about PTE writing is that the writing module only contributes approximately 25 to 27 points towards your 90 score in writing. This thing is different than IELTS. Here we are looking at writing module has only 27 to 30 points maximum going towards from your writing towards your writing module. And then rest of the marks in the writing module, they come from all other question types such as reading and writing fill in the blanks in reading module. Then you have a major chunk of writing score coming from your listening module. Main question types in listening module that contribute a score towards your writing are write from dictation, summarize spoken text, and listening fill in the blanks. So really important to master all those to get good score in writing. So let's look at what is the contribution coming from collective contribution from summarized written text. So from summarized written text you have approximately 10 to 11 points going towards your writing module, 10 to 11 points. This number may fluctuate a little bit depending on how many questions you get and how many other types of questions you get in the exam. And then in the reading, because this question type involves your reading skills as well, so you also get score for reading. In reading, you'll have approximately 5 to 6 points out of 90. Mainly that content part is contributed towards reading, or the content part is added into your reading module too. So really important to get those points in reading module coming from here in summarized written text. Now, on the basis of my experience teaching PT for last 4 years and having helped more than 1,000 students with 65 and 79 plus bands, and most of them, many of them were the ones who had done exam multiple times before and even had coaching from different places before. What I have come up with is this strategy. So this is something that works really well for everyone. So to maximize your content, I would recommend students to write between 50 to 55 words. Remember guys, in this question type, their word limit is 5 to 75 words. So as long as you write between that limit, you'll be fine. But we do not want to write 75 words, because then your sentence is going to be too long and it is going to be too loose. And then we do not want to either write even 5 words, because your sentence won't mean anything. Although if you look at a sentence, you could have a as small as sentence as having just 2 words. For example, I go. But it does not match any academic sentence. So here we are looking at a typical academic sentence for in summarized written text. The biggest challenge in this question type for most people is to read. So we struggle to read, we struggle to understand, we struggle to find the right sentence to pick, we struggle to find the right phrase or right words to pick from this. So the content is graded on the basis of just on the keywords, but those keywords should be written in the form of meaningful sentences for you to get maximum out of this question type. Now, can we pick full sentences? Yes, you can pick full sentences sometimes, but other times you may have to paraphrase your sentences to make it work. That as a whole, your written summary means something, not just cut copy pasting of the words there from there. Now let's have a look at what is the best response in summarized written text. If you want to bag those 2 marks in the content, if you write slightly on the higher word limit for a typical academic sentence, so that's why I will discuss that most of our students were getting, you might have seen one of the scorecard lately. Rohin has achieved 19 reading and 19 speaking, 88 in writing and 88 in listening. So I asked him to write somewhere close to 55 words, right? So that's my ideal limit. Now, what is the best response in summarized written text, right? So the best response in summarized written text is a summary that has been written in a complex compound sentence. Now, I know that everyone wants one or the other shortcut, that why should we learn the compound sentence? Why should we learn about complex sentence? Because these sentences are used in academic writing, and then these type of sentences, they determine the relationship between 2 types of things you want to say. Really important to understand those complex and compound sentences. So in simple way, I have brought this sentence with you guys. So this is, if you pick out of the given text, if you frame or pick 4 sentences, or say 3 sentences, it could be long 3 sentences or 4 sentences, or sentences which you frame after reading the passage and using those key phrases from different parts of the passage, depending upon what you understand. You can go sentence 1 and then comma, and or but. So and or but are coordinating conjunctions, and there are actually 7 of them, but and but are most common ones. And is used when we are adding that sentence, next sentence to the previous sentence, and but is used when we are contrasting next sentence with this, right, from the sentence 1. So sentence 1, comma, and or but, and then you go sentence 2, and then we want to add sentence 3 by using conjunctive adverb. So that conjunctive adverb, if you want to use in the middle of a sentence, it always goes with the help of a comma semicolon rule. Comma semicolon rule is very simple. You can just Google it and learn a little bit about it, how to use it. But in simple way, it goes like this. So you go semicolon and then one of the conjunctive adverb, which is however or moreover, and you go comma, and then we put sentence 3. Now any of these sentences, whether sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, should have at least 2 phrases or 2 clauses in it to have a compound sentence, and as a whole this sentence will become your compound and complex sentence. That's all we need for summarized written text. Now it has been clearly mentioned in Pearson's teacher's notes, PTE teacher's notes, that this summarized written text tests your ability to write 3 or 4 ideas in one given sentence, so that they are testing your ability to write a complex compound sentence, which would be one of the requirements for you guys when you get your PT score, you want to come to Australia for study, or you want to have use your scores for your nursing registration and things like that. Because when you communicate in English, especially in written English, a sentence is the basic unit of language, and at the level of 65 and 79 plus, they expect you to have knowledge of compound and complex sentences and be able, so that you are able to write those sentences when you need to. So really important to understand the this complex and compound sentences, and I'm telling you guys that this is not that difficult if you just pay attention to that. So this is about your summarized written text, and what you don't want to do in summarized written text, don't write more than 1 sentence. This is really important to understand, that otherwise your task is going to fail in your form criteria and you're straight away going to get 0. So that's all about summarized written text, and now let's have a look at write essay. So another question type in writing is write essay. Now about write essay, I would say here the essays for Pearson PTE, they are not like essays you write for IELTS, because here the essays are graded. Everything in PTE is graded by your machine. So there's a little bit of getting away, but not 100% getting away. You still should be able to write meaningful sentences. You should still be able to write grammatically correct sentences, and you should be able to proofread it. You have to avoid spelling errors and things like that, because here all the scoring criteria in essay are pretty defined. If you address those scoring criteria, for example, if you are using any template and if your template addresses all those scoring criteria, that would be a good template. So the role of templates is just simple for you guys to be able to finish your essay within 20 minutes, because they only give you 20 minutes to complete the essay in summarize in PTE. However, in IELTS you can spend up to 40 minutes writing your essay. So that's the bit of different thing here you're doing in PTE. So you get 20 minutes to finish an essay on the given topic, and that's the biggest challenge for many people who do not use your computers on day-to-day basis. So for the beginners, or for the people who have just started to use computer, there would be some people who would be watching this video. Get your hands onto typing. At least you need a sufficient speed for you to be able to finish this essay within 20 minutes. Now let's look at I have brought up this diagrammatic representation of these write essay and summarized written text. As you can see here, in summarized written text, they want you to read a given text, which could be of up to 300 words, and after reading this they want you to produce 1 single sentence, right? That is your actually summarized written text. And then from single sentence, or sometimes even 2 sentences they give you a topic, they want you to elaborate that into write essay to make a bigger piece of writing. So both question types are like this side and this side of the same thing, so 2 sides of a coin. So you just need to make sure that you understand those basics here. So in write essay you have some basics. For example, your essay should be divided into ideally 4 paragraphs. So introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then conclusion. Now how many ideal sentences? Intro can have up to 4 to 5 sentences. Your body paragraph can have 4 to 5 sentences. Similarly, your second body paragraph can have 4 to 5 sentences, and you can have at least 1 single sentence in conclusion. And then if you look at the scoring criteria, it is quite defined. So you have content 3 marks, you have form 2 marks, you have general linguistic range 2 marks, you have grammar 2 marks, vocabulary 2 marks, and then you have spelling 2 marks, and then you have development, structure and coherence 2 marks. So any template that addresses all these scoring criteria is a good template to use. The role of template in writing essays is just simple, that you want to be able to finish that essay within 20 minutes with proofreading. Now, time management is key in especially in summarized written text. I just missed that point, so I'm going to add it into summarized written text as well. So in terms of time management, when we look at time management in summarized written text, so you want to spend 4 or 5 minutes in reading and identifying your sentences or points. You want to spend 2 to 3 minutes in writing, and we definitely need those 2 critical minutes for proofreading. Very, very important. Similarly, for essay, you should be able to finish the essay within 15 minutes in typing, so that you have at least 4 to 5 minutes to proofread. Because if you do not proofread, and if you have 2 spelling errors there, and if you have 2 grammar errors there, your essay is already down by 4 points. In essay total there are 15 points. Now the contribution coming from essay writing towards your 90 score in writing is approximately 12 to 13. But remember guys, these all 12 to 13 marks can be in your pocket if you have a right template to write your essay. So if you want to actually have a template, our template for a write essay, you can just write your details or contact us through us on this video, whether you're watching it on Facebook or YouTube, and I'll be happy to share a template with you. By the way, that template video, we did a video on live video on YouTube a few days back, so it is also live there on YouTube, so you can watch that. We have discussed the template as well as how to use the template, so that you have a meaningful essay which is addressing all the scoring criteria. So I hope you liked this video, and we will continue to make more videos. Post your comments with this video in the comment box, and I would also like you guys to comment on what other modules you are really struggling, so we can focus on making some more videos on those modules. Thank you very much for your time, and stay safe, stay healthy, work hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.